Hello, I'm Jim, and if you've got a Whirlpool refrigerator with a model number close to the one shown somewhere on this sticker, and you're getting repeated freeze over of your ice maker, this is what you do to fix that problem. First of all, take the ice bucket out of the freezer. I have to do this. I don't have help. And you have an empty cavity here. And what happens is some of the tubing in here gets frozen. So first thing is turn the ice maker off. Now I gotta pause for a second. Okay, then take a hair dryer. Yes, a hair dryer. And turn it on inside the freezer. And if you can, use a extension cord if you can't get one to reach all the way over. But let that sit in there for about 10-15 minutes. And when you're done, pull the hair dryer out, and up in there, let's see if I can get the light on in there. Okay, let me turn my... Okay. Up in there you see I shoved some packing peanuts. That's because there's tubes up there and they freeze over. So shove some packing peanuts up in that region up there. But most importantly, look at how I've got my freezer temp on 1. And everything is absolutely frozen in there. But most people think you have to crank your freezer temp up to 3 or 4. Well, that's what's happening here, is that the freezer air blows out of that tube and into here, and all this stuff freezes up in the tube lines, because in the door of this refrigerator there's a heating element and it can't properly keep up with the cold air coming out of here and into here, because you've got this thing set so high. So just keep the freezer temp on 1. That's completely, look at how much ice I've made. And it's all totally, remember to turn that on again. It's all totally frozen. If your fridge has a ice maker up in there, really it's the same thing. Just turn your freezer temp down, and that's really all you gotta do. Your hair dryer, it's got an automatic shut off if it gets too hot. That won't happen inside of a freezer. So just plug it in as close as you can to the fridge, or get a extension cord, plug it in, lay it in down there, and defrost all of that tubing. And that's what happens is, I'll show you. Okay, this right here is an arm, and every so often that arm falls down to see what your ice level is. And if it comes down and hits ice right away, it goes back up and it knows we don't need ice right now. But if it comes down a certain, if it comes down to a certain point and it senses that there's not a lot of ice in this bucket, it'll keep on making ice until when it comes down, it senses ice at the top of the bucket. But if all this tubing is freezing on you, it's counterproductive, obviously. So just tuck some foam packing peanuts or whatever you've got that's similar to that. Even a little insulation if you can borrow some from somewhere. Turn this off first and put your hairdryer in there and do that stuff. Another thing is, if this arm, mine was like making an creaky sound, so I sprayed some WD-40 right where this arm connects. You can see this is the arm that comes down. I said this comes down into your ice bucket and senses how much ice you have in there. I sprayed some WD-40 in there, and that took care of that problem. I also sprayed a little bit up there because your ice cubes are made here. In fact, this is full of fresh ice cubes right now, but it won't turn over until this bar tells you it needs to turn over. And when it turns over, it automatically turns over and twists, almost like you twist an ice tray to get all the ice cubes to twist out. This does that automatically. It turns over and it kind of twists, and that's how they come out. Plus, there's a little heating element that helps them to sort of melt a little bit on the bottom before they drop out. That's why they stick together like this, is because there's a little heating element that heats the bottom of the cubes, and then they sometimes stick together. So give this one-handed again. Indeed. Okay, so turn the ice maker back on. Yes, I did. I hope this helps you. It should. The main thing is a freezer temp. I'm telling you, 1 is enough. It keeps my ice cream frozen. So try that and let me know what you think. Put a like on there if you like the video. If you don't like the video, you could be cool and like it anyway. I'm just kidding. Everybody, good luck, and if you have any questions, put them in the comments. If I see them, I'll answer. Thanks, guys.